But I think SJD is very much an open place, and it doesn't matter if you are someone who's really new or someone who, whose grandparents founded the church, then, there's a place for you and a role for you here. We got introduced to St. John the Divine kind of in, probably the 2008 timeframe through First Steps Montessori. SJD has a service that's clearly geared towards young children, awesome worship, and it's not choir standing behind pews and sort of it's a little wild, it's a little raucous, and that's so great. I mean, that's what young parents need is the ability to come in and just let their kids, run around and dance. They get into the hand motions, and that's really neat. And the music's, usually upbeat and fun. This newfound awesome worship was, in fact, awesome. That we could go with the kids to church. They could be crazy, run around, do whatever, and nobody was judging us. I mean, that was part of the deal. And we met a lot of, young families who were kind of in similar situations. I would say that was kind of our early stage of SJD. My wife actually became involved in the associate vestry at some point along the way, and she had a great experience with that. And then I was asked to be on the AV, and that was kind of when our kids were a little bit older. And that was kind of the first point at which I went deeper at SJD. But the church, of course, has been a major part in kind of really forming our kids and helping to give them a firm foundation for life. They're my oldest two are now acolytes. I'll tell you that all three of them can probably deliver better dinner time prayers than I can or Lauren can. And that's just so fulfilling. I mean, my oldest has gone through confirmation class, which it's kind of blown me away, the year-long confirmation class and how deep they go and how much, frankly, he enjoyed it. It was not a chore or something that you have to check. Oh, my parents are making me do this. I mean, he really looked forward to confirmation class. I totally credit, Dan Gannon and his team with putting together something that's compelling for young people. But SJD has been a place where all of our kids are like, oh, really? Great. Let's go to church. Let me acolyte. Let me, put me in, coach. So that's been really gratifying. And I think that, the Lord is at work in terms of instilling in them, a sense of grounding in faith and being in a community of like-minded Christians who put a priority on this. I mean, we're all distracted with youth sports and school and everything, but making church and faith formation a priority is really worth it. And it's going to be what's with them in the long run. I don't know that how many wins they had on the lacrosse field is really going to matter when they're 45. But I think they'll look back and realize I want something like that for my family to continue to guide me as I'm an adult. And so I think that that's the transition, right, from awesome worship where they're just cute little kids like sitting on the ground, hearing God loves me, or God, to really kind of the more mature understanding of what's at work here. That's been a really neat progression to see. It'll continue. It'll be a continuous work in progress, especially, with so many kids as they go off to college and things like that. But I really hope that, the foundation of SJD will lead them to, in college and early adulthood, really just come back to, a Christ-centered church community. I guess, like many young couples, I mean, when we were in our early stages trying to make ends meet, we tried to, pledge some amount to the church, but it wasn't a massive amount. But over the years, especially as we've gotten more involved here and realized, all the amazing things that are going on, we've realized, well, this is absolutely the first, box in terms of where do we want to give our money. And all of the other many charities in Houston and beyond, amazing charities, but this is really square one. And, I think that, this is a place, again, where, it's our bedrock, it's our foundation, it's our faith foundation. And especially for our kids, we have gotten so much out of it. God has blessed us so much, with in terms of career and financial ability, and it's just absolutely appropriate, and we love to give back and give to the church. And so it's honestly it's a joy to say, hey, here's my pledge, and this is you're number one on my list, and then be able to fulfill that pledge, and every year hopefully increase, and we just see God's work at hand here, and I really just hope that everyone can kind of see that SJD is the place where really it's just such a worthy place for their dollars to go. There's no place else in Houston that's going to kind of form your children and form your family like this place.